Hello, gang. Professor McElroy here. Welcome to Web Design 3. This is our September section. Those in the class, I noticed everyone has had Web Design 1 and Web Design 2. So just a really quick recap for Web Design 1, we did some basic HTML writing. We created kind of a rudimentary web page. From there, we moved into Adobe Dreamweaver, where we learned about the relationship between a Dreamweaver template, a cascading style sheet, a CSS of some kind, and HTML document, and how they all interact and work together to create our web page experience. We also talked a little bit in Web Design 1 about the concept of the fixed wireframe design and the responsive web page experience. In Web Design 2, we migrated over to that responsive web page experience, and we dealt with designing websites using Bootstrap, which is the responsive template system inside of Adobe Dreamweaver, where we really got into a little bit more of the responsive code, kind of how that functions, and building more complex multimedia solutions. We also were introduced to the concept of WordPress and Wix and Squarespace and all of these cloud-based, browser-based responsive web template tools. And so Web Design 3 is all about taking a deeper dive into web-based web design tools. And WordPress has been around for a very, very long time, and many large corporations use it as a template system, as kind of a website building tool where they can get everything they need from their online online experience, and they can manage it in-house, which is a nice feature. They don't have to worry about a webmaster of any kind. They can manage it in-house. And so that's what we'll be tackling. You'll notice in the announcement section that I already posted a pre-lecture last September. This time I taught the Web Design 3 class. And so I always like to post kind of the pre-lecture lecture for those of you that are dealing with the classes totally online, which everyone in this cohort is. So we'll be doing the pre-lecture post, and then I'll be following it up with a recorded lecture on Wednesday evenings for you to watch at a later time. So far, we've had some students post their template design already for WordPress. And so tonight I'll just be kind of opening up and highlighting some of the key features that were posted in the pre-lecture recording. I did ceremony brewing, I think, with our last offering of this course. And so you'll get to see kind of how to navigate through WordPress, set up a WordPress site, set up the settings and appearance for your template, and populate your home page. So I'm just going to open up some of the basic tools tonight and kind of re-go over a few key topics, knowing that Learning Module 1 is all about creating your template, populating the metadata, the information behind the scenes, and then also populating your home page with content. I'm going to do, I think, the Bohemian Restaurant in Bonita Springs as kind of the foundation of my website build. I'm open for any web experience you would like to try. As far as a client goes, I like to stick with things that aren't so large and mainstream. That way I can build a portfolio that is a bit more locally driven, and also one that I could potentially, if I did a really good job with it, share it with the local company that I might have used as my case study for this class. So just kind of keep that in mind. Try not to, pick something big like Netflix to be your design client or something large like that. I always have a student that tries to tackle something large. But you also want to make sure that if you pick a small, maybe a nonprofit or a local company, that you make sure that there's enough content out there, pictures and text, for you to populate your site. Some students take the Web3 class and they start to build their own personal portfolio page, which is not a necessity, because senior portfolio, we actually build an online portfolio. So for this project, you really should be choosing a local product or service, or a nonprofit, maybe your church, someone that you can build an online experience with. Save your portfolio for when you have senior portfolio class. For those bachelor level students, senior portfolio, we build an online portfolio as your senior project. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so remember, I'm just going to navigate through Canvas just really quickly. Remember, I like to use the announcement section to post some different things. And so make sure that you're checking the announcement section ever so often, just to make sure you know what's going on in the course. I'll post student samples, I'll post inspirational things. I'll kind of just post what I think would help feed your brain as you start to learn this course and kind of what's going on as it relates to Web Design 3. Now, as we bounce over to our modules, know that we don't have a textbook for this course. We're going to be building our WordPress site via embedded videos, via online resources, and via my lecture for each week. Learning Module 1 is all about opening up a WordPress.com account, selecting a client and a theme, a template theme, and populating the theme and the home page. Like I said, there have been several posts already from students creating their portfolio. So I'm happy to say that we're doing good with that, and we're going to continue that process as we kind of move forward through the course. So that brings us to WordPress as an online tool. You know, what this thing is all about. Knowing that WordPress is just one of many cloud-based tools. You have Wix, you have Squarespace, you have WordPress, you have everything from GoDaddy to Night. If there is an online template process, a domain selling company, more times than not, they have some version of a template system, and they keep evolving. So every time there is a template company out there that comes up with some kind of new system, they post it online for students to and potential designers to use. So WordPress just happens to be one of them. There are many out there, but we're going to use it because it is kind of the foundation, the starting point of all things web-based design. I mean, it was one of the original tools out there for use, so we're going to use it as a tool. You may end up, after learning the process, getting comfortable with one of the different tools out there that you might feel a little bit more comfortable with. So you never know. So now we're going to jump in, and remember that, and I'm just going to go to WordPress.com, that there is a WordPress.org. The difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org is WordPress.org is very much a developer-driven tool, very much a code-oriented tool. WordPress.com is much more kind of front-end user-friendly. So just kind of know that as you're navigating through the tool, that they are different things, .com versus .org. So we're going to go over, and I've already logged in and I've already set up my free account with WordPress.com, which all of you should do. And then the first thing it's going to ask you to do is create a site. So we're going to go in here and create a site, and I'm actually going to do the Bohemian the Bohemian restaurant. So Bohemian Bonita. Bohemian Bonita. And I'm just going to choose the free one, right? So that I don't have to pay for anything. I can build this thing and navigate through it and play around with it and not have to have a hosting account or a URL. I'm just going to say other. And we'll just do education. And so now this is where we start to pick our design and start populating our theme and our content for our page. So let's just see what we have here. And so just keep in mind also that you don't have to pick like a restaurant theme if you're doing a restaurant. You could pick something like a single page or a simple design, or maybe, you know, sophisticated. It doesn't have to be a business template for a restaurant. And so let's do show all. And I'm just going to scroll down here and take a look at, and we want to pick something free because we're going to be building free today. Wow, there's some really beautiful ones here that are freebies. I'm going to go with this one. And you can see what it will look like based on the design, which is really beautiful. And so I'm going to go ahead and start with this. Now, when you start your process and set up your site and set up your account and then pick your theme, you're immediately going to come to this landing page. And this landing page is really important because there are a few things you have to know. Right down here is your appearance area with your settings area and all of the behind the scenes information that happens on your website. Up here is where posts and pages and media appear, where you'll be generating content for your pages. So just kind of know that you want to start down here in your appearance and settings area. And then after you have your site set up from the behind the scenes standpoint, that's when you're going to want to navigate into your pages area so that you can start building your required pages for your site. So before I do that, I'm going to go in here and do Bohemian Restaurant Bonita Springs. And here's the little restaurant, really kind of a cool little restaurant. And I'm going to drag that. And that's their logo. And let's see what we have here. I mean, look at how simple their site is. Home, menu, about the bar, about the kitchen, and contact us. Let's see if it'll let me, let's see if we can find at least an image or two to use for our, so I'm going to do a screen capture and grab this picture and put that on the desktop. And I'm going to rename this Bohemian Bar. And I'm going to rename this one Bohemian Logo. And so let's see what else we have here. We don't have a lot going on here with the imagery of what they have for us. We have this one. So I'm going to screen capture this. And I'm going to name this one Bohemian Food. Let's see if there's anything for the contact us page. Oh, at least they have the nice shot of the outside of the restaurant. And so we'll call this Bohemian outside. Let's go back to the home page and let's screenshot at least part of the outside, the close up here. Bohemian close up. And I'm going to start my root directory, even though this is a web-based website design tool. I'm going to do Bohemian Bonita Springs. I'm still going to create my root directory. And inside of there, I'm going to do my images folder, or you could call it assets if you wanted to. And I'm still going to follow the same rule of thumb that I would follow if I was building this thing in Dreamweaver, right? I still want to keep the same kind of rule of thumb going on here. So there is my folder. Okay, and the rest of the stuff I'll be able to scrape as I need to. I could go in and in a text edit program or Notepad or something like that, go in and type in home page. And I'm going to type in home page, and I'm going to copy the text from the home page and paste that there. And now I'm going to scroll up to the about the bar page, and I'm going to copy this text. And you're seeing I'm setting up a Notepad that has the basic information from their website. This is a really good rule of thumb just to get yourself set up with content for your page, even though you're using a cloud-based tool. So let's see. I'll copy this. And let's just copy. So I'm building my content in a Notepad before I even start populating or building my, and these are just PDFs. They just send you, I believe, to PDF. So if I click on this, yep, just a PDF. So I just know that I'll need to do something like that when I get to my menu page. And so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to do File, Save, Website Content. And I'm going to dump that in here. And so now you'll see I have my website content file and then my images in my images folder. So now I can go down and take a look at what we have set up. So now you're going to see that the theme is chosen, right? It's chosen right here. And it's showing which one I chose. There's also a beta editor. There's a customization. There's a additional CSS, like if you were really good at writing style sheets, you could paste some style sheets in there in order to enhance some of the presets of the theme. But in a 4-week Web3 class where we're just exploring web-based website design tools, we're going to stick to basic theme editing and page population. But we could go in here and click on here. And it's going to open up the beta tool for editing the template. And so let's see what we got here. So let's type this in and do Bonita, the Bohemian. Let me make sure. Bohemian. See what it says. It's the Bohemian Restaurant. So I'm just going to stick with the Bohemian. And let's see if there's any kind of tagline or anything. Nope, no tagline. So we're good there. And then let's take our logo and let's find that. Let's drop that in there. And it will drop it in right there. So that looks nice. We can actually remove this because we have our logo right there. And we're going to make it a little bigger. So there we go. We don't have a tagline yet, so we can't really do anything with that. but we're just kind of populating our tool here. So let's go in here and let's swap a picture out. So I think we need maybe the close-up. So we'll drop that in there. And now you're going to notice the home page. So now that I've copied over my home page text, let's go back to the home page. And we're going to copy this. And we're going to paste that. And let's highlight that. And let's make it bold. And let's see here. That's all fine. So it's all good there. So we'll do that. And we'll copy this. We'll drop that in. And let's figure out how many columns are in here. So it looks like we have one big cell with these little columns. So let's do menu. There we go. All right, so let's save that. I'm going to save that. Let's scroll down. We don't have to worry about some of this stuff yet because it's still all part of our theme. And so down here, it would be nice if they had a mailing list, right? So we're going to leave that they have a mailing list. They do have Facebook and Instagram. I don't believe they have Pinterest. So we'll remove that. We'll remove that. We'll remove this. We're going to remove this stuff. And that way we have it just as a space holder there. So we'll save this. Let's go back to our dashboard. And so now let's get into our settings, our general settings in here. And this is where you set the metadata for your website. So you want to go in and customize your theme. You want to get in and do the Bohemian Restaurant. Maybe tagline is Bonita, historic Bonita Springs. Everything else is okay. So we'll save that. And so now we have our appearance kind of set up. We got to populate all that, make sure all the information is correct. So if you have social media, like if we go in here, I don't know if the Bohemian has social media. We'll have to check it in a minute. So let's go to the editor here, and we're going to scroll down. Let's see here. Highlight that. Make sure there isn't anything that we're missing here. So we're good there. Everything is preset for us, which is good. All right, so let's scroll down. So let's go down to the footer here and see what we have going on here. So let's insert our URL. So let's go and see if they have a Facebook page. Bohemian Restaurant. Go to the website. Let's see if they have social media in here anywhere. They don't have it posted. So let's see if, all right, so they do have a page. So let's copy this. And then we're going to paste the URL right there. And then I don't know about Instagram, so let's do Bohemian Restaurant, Bonita Springs, Instagram. They do, so we'll copy that. Wow, they got a lot of followers already, 3,500 followers. That's awesome. Let's get in here. We're going to edit this, add the URL. So we're good there. Save that. Let's click the little view site. And so we're tinkering around. So that's nice. This historic Bonita Springs homepage. I've got to tinker around with this. This content will edit as the home page when we go to the homepage information. But I just wanted to make sure that works. Click on this. That works. So let's close that. Let's get in here. Open in new tab. Facebook. Open in new tab. Save that. View. Site. Scroll down. Facebook opens in a new tab. You want to make sure social media opens on the new tab so that it doesn't override the site that's open, which is right here. Logo looks great. I think I should put located in historic downtown Bonita Springs. Let's close that. We're going to go back to our dashboard, go back to our settings, and do located in historic downtown Bonita Springs. And you're noticing we're editing the tagline here in the settings, but it was also available in the theme editor. So just know that it's the theme editor's new in WordPress, so it gives you a much more visual representation of what you're editing. So let's save that. So now it says located in historic Bonita Springs. Okay, so you get the idea with editing the theme, populating the appearance, which is basically the header and the footer of your theme, and getting into the settings and making sure that your settings match your new client that you're building. And please make sure if your footer or your header has social media links and the client that you choose has social media. Header and footer is all part of week 1, project number 1, modifying the template. Now, when you get done modifying the template, you see the URL right here. That URL is what you need to upload as a text upload to me so that I can review each of your projects as you build them. So when you build the template, you upload the URL. When you build the home page, you upload, in essence, the URL, and it's that index.html page. So you can give me the URL for both the template and the home page, because the URL is the home page once you've modified your content. So that brings us over to pages, and you're going to notice that the way that WordPress works and a way that a lot of the web-based website design tools are set up is that the theme and appearance and the metadata are in one section of the dashboard, and the pages themselves, and in some cases they're called posts if you choose a blog or a journal theme, are in the different section of the dashboard. So although they look together as a published URL, they're actually located in separate sections. So just know, to get comfortable with that, that you're looking in a couple of different places for different things. And also know that this free URL at any point in time could become a paid URL where it's a custom URL. So we're building this more as what I would consider a beta site for a client, where it's published and it's live and it's free. And if the client likes it, it can always be rolled over to their custom URL. All right, gang. So now we're going to go in and edit our homepage. And you're going to notice that it is a public page published today. It has the header and footer template. I am the author of this. You'll notice that we could select a featured image for it. We could write hidden information. We could allow comments for our page. And we can set up the theme to be a parent page if we wanted to. So we have our basic things set up here. We're going to keep it home because even though it's named as index, we're going to keep it as home, even though it in theory is the index page. So you'll notice here is our content. Let's go. White text. If we wanted to, we could do that modern thing by ghosting or putting a box around the text background. So there it is. We're going to get into our button here and the background. We're going to make it white. The text, we could make it medium size if we wanted. We'll go with small. We're going to add a little padding to the button. Round the button off a little bit. It has its standard style sheet. We could put a number sign, remember hashtag, and we could HTML anchor this, which means point it to a certain location. Currently, let's type in the menu. So let's go back to the Bohemian. And let's link to the PDF, which is their menu. And this is all important because we want it to be as true as we can make it. So everything should work. In a new window. So now we're going to scroll down. Now, where it gets a little bit tricky is we didn't have a lot of information here. So let's do this. I may need to write a little information. Outside. There we go. And so all of this should be new. No part of your template should be old information. So if there's information on your template that you don't need, then you should delete it and only save, publish, update the information that is important, right? That's part of your site. So you just need to make sure that there isn't any lingering information in your template or your homepage that isn't specific to your client. It's easy to do that. And also, as we're navigating through our theme and our homepage for week 1, please check grammar, please check spelling, please make sure you don't copy and paste something and it end up being half of the statement or without punctuation or something weird going on. You need to make sure that the information is yours, is complete, is thoughtful. And if you don't have enough information from, let's say, the website of the client that you're working with, then go out to the social media, see if you can find an article about the product or service, see if you can find third-party information about your product or service that you can add to or populate into your homepage. And let's see how you do with opening an account, picking a client, product or service, populating the theme and the appearance and the metadata of your client, and then building the home page of your client. And let's see how you do with that for week 1. And remember, I need your URL uploaded for each of the first 2 projects. I try to keep the opening lecture about 45 minutes, which is right where we're at. You have your pre-lecture in tonight's lecture to watch, and let's see how you do navigating through the very beginning of WordPress.com. And please, as I critique your submissions in the comment section of your grade, please make any adjustments to your project as we are building it, as we're kind of structuring it and evolving, so that we make the appropriate adjustments. Don't just build it, get your grade and move on. We want to be making adjustments to our website as we build it so that we have the very best portfolio online client that we can possibly build, right? Each one of these projects, as you navigate into the 3,000 and 4,000 level courses, are going to become client samples in your portfolio. So just know that you want to make it the very best you can so that you have something really strong to showcase for any future clients or a future employer. So take your time and build thoughtful solutions. If you need to find clip art images, go to Pexels.com. We've used it before in other classes. So if you need not watermarked images that are really beautiful, like I don't even know if Bohemian is a searchable word, but let's see. Oh, it's a style. So if I needed pictures of something beautiful, I can go to Pexels.com. So you can look at their menu and you can see what food offerings they have. And there are really beautiful images on Pexels.com. Try not to use any words that have watermarks over the top of them. We want to make sure that this is really clean, really beautiful as we build our WordPress site. Let me know if you have any questions as you get started.